a high drive to right. It is out of here.
Welcome, everybody, to the glorious episode of the Put on Giants podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSPR is my Twitter handle, so check me out there. Giants win. Giants wins 6-2 against the Dodgers tonight. Really a great showing for the Giants tonight. This is probably one of their most complete games of the entire season, from kind of start to finish. They were able to just kind of not dominate, but just feel comfortable in this game. If you can be comfortable in a Giant game, because they always make you go through torture and things like that. But they're able to win this game 6-2. Good job. Obviously, Logan Webb is just, that's Cy Young stuff. As far as that goes, that's just total Cy Young shit that he put on the Dodgers tonight at Chavez Ravine. Only gave up 2 hits in the whole game. Teoscar Hernandez was had a single, and then he had a home run in the game. So that was all the offense for the Dodgers in this game. He struck out Ohtani a couple of times. Mookie Betts, who's Mookie Betts and Muncy, who have been pains in the what's for the Giants in past years, didn't really do anything today at all. So I mean, the Giants did a great job, and I know there's a lot of Giant fans who like to they want to pound their chest for Casey Smith. Casey Smith has had a lot of opportunities to play on an everyday basis for the Giants. I'm happy for him to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. I think his play the last couple of weeks, probably last week or so, since they got injured, since we have the bad news about Matt Chapman, he came in with a huge situation, bases loaded, hit a grand slam that kind of solidified the Giants and helped them get that huge lead in this ball game. And you saw Yamamoto; he was shook after that. As soon as that ball was hit, he knew it was gone. No matter what language you speak, the sound of the bat when it's a home run, you know what it sounds like. And I feel like for him, he just didn't have his good stuff tonight. But listen, the Giants, this was the first game, I think, for real, too. The Giants really had a great approach. You saw so many 3-2 counts. You saw so many balls squared up for the Giants. They only had 10 hits, but they could have easily had, 13, 14, 15 hits in this ball game. Lee hit some balls hard, you're looking at Adames, who is hitting the ball, when he's not getting on. He's hitting the ball deep and squaring balls up. You like what you see from him now. He led the game off in the first inning with a home run, got the Giants on the scoreboard immediately. But the approach, we talk about approach a lot. Approach in the batter's box is huge, especially when you're facing a good team and you're facing a quality pitcher. And you can see from start to finish, everybody was focused in on their assignments, and everybody did a really good job of not, getting behind in the counts, like keeping the pressure on the pitcher. Every time we looked up, it was 2-0, it was 3-1. They fouled off pitches. They did everything they could to kind of run up that pitch count on Yamamoto, and it ended up paying off for them. They got 3 home runs today in this ball game. So now the Giants can flex a little bit, but I know when Casey Schmidt hit that grand slam, he wanted to explode with emotion, but he just kind of turned his head away from the pitcher to not show him up too much. But he knew that thing was gone, and good for him, because I mean it gives, like I said, the Giants when they get Chapman back and he's playing third base, and who knows, maybe when Chappie comes back, he's DHing for a little bit before he gets into the field. But if he goes to third base, it gives them some flexibility, because there's not an infield position where Schmidt can't play. So if they want to, put him in, but if the matchup is better for him, going against a certain pitcher, they might sit Fitzgerald in a game. But I mean, he does have. We all know it as Giant fans. We know that Casey Schmidt has tremendous physical power. Like he can hit balls, in batting practice as far as anybody. It's just we want to see him put it together, and we've all wanted to see him put it together in games. And now we're seeing him. We're seeing what he can do now. So sometimes injuries are just the worst thing that could possibly happen for a team, and sometimes you find out who you truly are when somebody who of Matt Chapman's stature gets hurt, and everybody comes up and picks it up. Like you got your backup catcher in there hitting bombs. You got because Patrick Bailey is out as well. Schmidt comes in and starts hitting the ball well. Willie Adames has struggled, and now the bat looks just like it did in Milwaukee right now. So, great job by them, by the Giants to win this first game. And I think what you want to do is, you just want to not you want to go in this series and not get swept. So you avoided the sweep, and now you go into this series and you say to yourself, okay, now we can sit here and say, hey, let's win the series. We have some matchups coming up this week that and over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday that we are that are probably in our favor. Kershaw's pitching game 2, so it's not like Kershaw's not the old Kershaw. So if they can get to Yamamoto, they can get to Kershaw. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. But really a good job by the Giants. Giants are in first place. They have the same record, but we'll do what the NFL teams do. The head-to-head is favor the Giants, so we'll put the Giants in first place right now, over the Dodgers. And just like I said, 6-2, great win. Just if it wasn't for Teoscar Hernandez, Logan Webb basically pitched a no-hitter in Dodger Stadium. That is unheard of. And he was fantastic tonight. His control, his movement, everything that he is a true ace. And like I said, I've been wrong on Logan Webb. Some of the things I said in the past, he's been phenomenal. And him adding a new pitch really helped. Him and Robbie Ray adding new pitches has helped them immensely. And they've been tremendous. I mean, they've been since day one. I mean, his record is. You can say 6-5. His record should be way better than 6-5, but we all know how that works. Right now, he has a 2.58 ERA, 2.58 ERA. So he is pitching outstanding every outing. I think every outing but one. For Logan Webb, and for him to come in and get this victory, and the Giants kind of win this game start to finish. They get the home run. The Dodgers get a run back in the second, and then they hit a grand slam in the third. You got to feel really good about having an easy game for the most part, and no dramatics in the ninth inning. We right now the Giants have a 3-headed monster or 2-headed monster as far as closing games go with Camilo Duvall and Ryan Walker. They tried Randy Rodriguez last game and it didn't work out. But they're playing great. They're playing great baseball. Eight out of the last 9, I think they've won. So you can't really fault them in any way. And for the most part, the Giants are just rolling right now, and you want to see it continue. Sometimes the Giants get off to fast starts in April and May, and then they had to hit that June swoon, if you will. But they did not do that so far in June. They are on fire in June, and I think these are the kind of series where you might. This is where you kind of solidify yourself to say, hey, this is a real baseball team. This is a team that can go out there and win a playoff series or two coming up later in the year. But a lot of games left, a lot of games with the Dodgers left. Good to see the Giants go out there and flex a little bit, shut down Ohtani, shut down Mac Muncy, who can always be a problem. Freddie Freeman did not do anything in this game as well. So, listen, good job by the coaches. Good job by Pat Burrell, who I talked about before, and the approach today was just phenomenal. Good job by the Giants. Game 1 of this of the battle between the Giants and Dodgers goes to the orange and black. We'll talk about a lot more baseball with these two teams coming up later on in the season. So I just want to get on here real quick, kind of because I thought it was a really good victory, really big victory for the Giants. And we'll try to come on do a show after every game of this series. But good job by the Giants. winner 6-2. Schmidt was great. Adames with a home run, hitting balls hard everywhere. 10 hits in this ball game. Somebody got to show Elliot Ramos how to run the bases in this game. Good thing that situation didn't come back to haunt him. And what about Dom Smith? I believe Dom Smith had. Let me see how many hits there. I think he had 3 hits in this game or 4 hits in this game. Let me get the box score real quick. He had Dom Smith has had 3 hits in this game. And he's batting 367. So, listen, that was a move that had to be made. I think the Giants gave Lamont Wade Jr. a big leash, and then Dominic Smith has come in and just been just a fantastic hitter for them ever since. And he is a great defensive first baseman. So you gotta like that as well. Flores had a couple hits. Schmidt had the grand slam. Right now, you got to keep playing Yaz right now because he's hitting the ball well because you know what you're going to get defensively from him. And I think Fitzgerald is a guy who I think struggling a little bit. And let's give Kisner a pat on the back. His first hit as a Giant is a home run to the deep center field in Dodger Stadium. All right, Giant fans, see you next time. And Giants win 6-2. Good job. Beat Blue, and I'm a Laker fan, so I can't say beat LA, but beat the Blue, if you will, out there in Los Angeles. See you next time.
Lee hits a high drive to right. It is